Are you feeling frustrated because your life is a struggle and you are really asking for guidance, but you're just not getting the memo? A lot of you have written and commented saying, hey, you talk about these spirit guides and angels, but I'm getting nothing. So this message today is for how to really understand how to speak spirit, because spirit and angels and divine guidance does not speak through the ordinary senses or through the intellect or through the brain or the ways that we communicate in the third dimension. If you're new to my channel, I suspect your angels and guides brought you here, so welcome, welcome. I hope you find something of genuine value. And if you're coming back, this is our training to learn to live as fifth dimension beings and to really speak spirit so we always get the memo and we're always in flow. So how does spirit guides and angels talk to you? Don't miss, you don't want to miss the memo. You want to speak spirit and always be in communication and understand how your angels and guides speak to you through the body, not through the intellect. So there's 3 types of signals that they're going to give you. I call them for simplification. Red light means stop, don't go there, don't do that. Green light means lean in, go for it, take a chance, don't hold back, don't be afraid. And the yellow is sort of the pause, let's take a minute. This is not time yet. You need more information or the timing's not quite right. So when guides and angels speak to you, you're going to feel it in several places. You're going to feel it in your heart, right here in the throat area. You're going to feel it in the gut, like kind of like inside your gut, not on the surface, kind of a deep gut feeling. That's a red light feeling. This high up here is a green light, and it's also kind of it's a place where the vibration comes in to get your attention. And then the yellow light is somewhere in between, or it can be around your head, neck, shoulders area. Now, this is all very subtle, so first let's do this. Rub your hands together, shake them out. Feel the frequency between the two. Close your eyes and feel that frequency. It's very subtle. You can do it around your face as well, around your throat as well. Now, of course, some people are going to say, well, that's no big deal. That's just that's just the heat off my body. Yeah, energy coming off of you. Guides also have energy projected towards you. And it's very subtle. It's not always warm. Sometimes it might be a cool breeze. Sometimes it might give you shivers. It's subtle. So if you're checked out, preoccupied, head in the phone, headphones on, tuned out, not in your body, you are going to miss it. 100% guaranteed. So the first thing is put your phone away, take some breaths, do this, an open vocal sigh. You can actually feel your throat open because a lot of guidance comes here. I call that sliding home, and then smile. Feel the curtains of your heart open, front and back. Secondly, start paying attention. One of my favorite definitions of intuition is to pay attention to the subtle. That's what guidance is. It's subtle communication. Your guides are not going to interfere, railroad you, and start giving you the blow-by-blow game plan, but they will get your attention in a way that's very direct, very subtle, and very surprising. That's another way you can tell it's guidance. You didn't expect it. But it's capturing your attention in a way that stops your behavior and invites you to reflect on what's happening in the moment. For example, I have a client that I had recently spoken to who said she had went on a date with a guy she met online. He seemed perfectly nice, and he talked her into it. It wasn't exactly a show up, but he seemed like a real gentleman. So she showed up to the restaurant, and just as she sat down, she got a phone call from her daughter. So she said, excuse me. We're actually ordered drinks. She said, excuse me, I'll be right back. She stepped away probably for maybe 30 seconds saying, look, I'm on a date. I'll call you later. She came back. The drinks were on the table, and she sat down and was just about to have a drink with this guy who was smiling and very, kind of a lot of warm energy flowing at her. And he was chatting, and she went to grab her drink, and her body stopped. Something in her body just wouldn't pick up the drink right away. Then 2 or 3 times, he'd say, have a drink or cheers. And then finally he held up his drink and he said, cheers, like insisting that she get her drink. So she got her drink. She clinked her glass to his, but she didn't take a sip. She couldn't. Her guides and her angels were like saying, don't drink that. So she put it down. He noticed, and you could tell a look off his face. He was a bit disappointed, but he let it go. He kept that forward effort. He was very warm, very, very, almost, she said, overbearing. And then again, cheers. So who does that twice? So she cheers again, but she says, I'm not in the mood for a drink, actually, after all. And again, seriously, the look across his face was one of big disappointment. So the next thing you know, she says, I didn't feel good. Everything in me just didn't want to be there. My body was pulling me back. He was pleasant but pushy, and pushy to the point it was intrusive. So she just excused herself and went home. And the minute she walked out the door, she went, relief, safety, which was not like her. Now, where I love her story, she didn't stick around to find out if the guy had nefarious ideas and was going to harm her. She left. She didn't need to have that validated at her own expense. That's getting the memo. Now, I had another guy who was driving to work, raced out of the door, but he was kind of a grounded guy, lived by himself. Anyway, he cleaned the kitchen, put his dish in the dishwasher, started it for the day, and left the house, grabbed his briefcase. He got about 4 blocks away, and he hears at the stop sign, as if someone was talking to him, go home now. I said, go home now? Well, I'm on my way to work, he actually answered out loud. Go home now. So he thought about it and did. He just did. He thought, well, whatever, I'm going to check it out. Zips back home, runs in the door, and the house has got a kind of fishy, acrid smell and a little bit of haze, and he runs into the kitchen where they discover there's an electrical fire in the wall. Immediately shuts off the electricity, calls the fire department, who comes and says, you just saved yourself from having your house burned down. That was guidance. That was the memo. But it was a statement he wasn't thinking. It came in. I have another client who was driving a car behind a bus on a curvy mountain road, and he heard, slow down. Really? Just cruising? Slow down. And it was so fast, it almost was, he said, I don't know if it was a word, a feeling, an energy saying, slow down. But he instinctively followed it. He slowed down. Didn't argue it. And that truck ahead of him kind of traveled a little bit further, but within 5 seconds, it blew a tire and went out of control and was ricocheting all over. And had he been as close as he had been, he would have run into that truck and been, who knows? We don't want to know. So when you get guidance, you're going to get it in your body. You're going to get it. You might get it in shivers around your neck and arms. I have a story that I shared in one of my books where a client was walking home after a back surgery and was just kind of working out and getting his mobility back, walking home one evening from a friend in the neighborhood, and he got chills behind his back. And he could sense that there was danger. He could sense, his guides and angels said, danger. So he had a quick thought. He couldn't run. He just had a back surgery. He was just barely getting back on his feet. But he thought, you know what? I can be in my body. I can be in my power. So he slowed down. And he could feel that he was kind of being stalked in a way and tracked. And all of a sudden, the steps started coming rapid, like someone was running up to assault him. He spun around, confronted someone face to face, and screamed, stop, go home. You're going to get in trouble. And the would-be thief was so shocked by the confrontation that he ran away. So this warning that came through shivers, it was shivers around his neck, just protected him. Now, here's the thing. He got the memo, and he didn't argue with it. That argument with the memo is really, really strange. It's really undermining. For example, I was watching myself on Instagram the other day, this man who was saying, say there's a woman working in the 15th story of her building at night in her office. She goes and leaves, the whole building's empty, the door opens, and there's a strange man in the elevator. Her logic brain could say, this is being, judgmental, just get in and just carry on. He shows no sense of threatening me, and we'll get in the elevator where no other animal would step into what could be a possible predatory situation. We do. We have to stop. You have to stop. The guides will give you strong physical feeling. Don't do that. Now, where we get in trouble is we feel like we have to explain why we're not going to do that. So you don't. You just say, trust in my vibes. That's all I need to not do something. Your guides communicate with you through the body. Your angels communicate with you through energy that your body receives, not your brain. Even those downloads bypass your logic brain and just get through as directives. You can tell because they're not the way you normally think. You can tell because your body feels something so strongly. Another time, a woman was walking down the street and saw a young girl who was drinking a coffee and just sitting and staring, and she had to stop. She turned around and went back, and she said, "Are you okay?" This girl just looked at her, completely frozen, and she said again, "Are you okay? Do you mind if I sit down?" Totally unlike her. Not a good Samaritan, according to her. Had to. The girl just looked at her so traumatized and said, "I've just been robbed. I don't have any money. I don't have my purse. I'm in shock. I'm not okay. Can you help me?" So she did. The girl was maybe 16, 17 years old and really vulnerable. So that's when your angel or your guide will help you become the earth angel. My daughter had the same experience. She was in Chicago. She went to an appointment. Actually, no, she was at school. She was in downtown Chicago and at the university there. And she was walking to her car and she saw this beautifully dressed man standing by his car, but he looked dazed. And she gets in her car and turns on the ignition, and her guide said, "Go back." And it was just sort of not audible, just a complete in her body turn, look at the guy, and a push to go back. So she shut off the car, got off, walked across the street, said, "Are you okay?" And he couldn't speak. He was having a heart attack. He just started to collapse, and she immediately called 911. And because they were in downtown Chicago, they had someone there within minutes, like maybe less than a minute, she said. Saved his life. He was having a heart attack. Again, guides will speak to you by moving your body, giving you a push. It's in the gut. This is the language of spirit. The other way your guides speak to you loud and clear is when you're just kind of daydreaming or kind of in a mindless task, folding the laundry, loading the dishwasher, drying the dishes, just making the beds. Something will come through to you, a clear thought or a clear inspiration. One woman who had been looking for work for a long time got this inspiration to turn on the radio. She doesn't listen to the radio. Turn on the radio. She didn't even know what radio to turn on, so she used her phone and turned on to a podcast. It was just kind of random. And in the podcast, someone was talking about equine horses and alternative training, and then went to Reiki, and she was mesmerized. She couldn't stop. She couldn't stop listening. And all of a sudden she knew, I have to learn that. I have to learn how to do Reiki for animals, because she loved animals. She wasn't such a people person. She said she knew with every cell in her body, although I never knew that was a thing, now that I know, it's the thing I'm meant to do, and started a path that not just got her a job, which is yet another disappointing experience, but put her on a path of purpose that she's now into years and years. She's an animal empath, does Reiki for animals and particularly horses, and is really happily employed and in great demand. So guides are simple, direct, and they don't insist themselves. They'll be subtle, they'll be consistent. You'll get a feeling, a gut feeling. If you get a feeling in your chest, that's a feeling of, open the door, take a look, lean in, this is good. Say what you're feeling out loud. That's what kind of interprets this energy from your guides, gives it validity and legitimacy. Find the words that express the energy you're feeling. Now you might think, well, how do you do that? But you listen to a piece of classical music, you can find the words to express the energy. It's forceful, it's dynamic, it's melancholy, it's romantic, it's dynamic. So this is how you help your guides help you, is learn to language and verbalize what you're feeling energetically. However, you don't have to explain. Your guides are communicating to you. And your guide that loves to communicate to you constantly is your higher self. So just a simple question is to ask your higher self, please guide me. I start every morning, higher self, move me in the direction of my highest good. My mind, my words, my body, my thoughts, my emotions, just line them up in the direction of my highest good. And then when you get an impulse, follow it. Don't argue. Just go with it. So you have to be flexible. You have to pivot. It's a different way of being for sure, but it brings you miracles, synchronicities, joyful connections, opportunities you never could have contrived or figured out. So learning to speak spirit is a language that is energetically receiving in the body. Now, if you really want assistance, one of the things that will assist you is oracles, because they are the bridges or the telephones from the body frequency to the spirit. One of my most important oracles is the trust your vibes, because it's vibes that you're getting from the guides, including your higher self. Now, I have expanded that oracle and channeled it to what I call in the moment guidance opportunity. So if you need guidance in the moment to train you how to receive signals, you can investigate that in the notes below. It's where you can get guidance on purpose, on profession, on relationships of all sorts, by connecting you to guidance from your higher self. So you create a place to receive it. And in the moment guidance, you also get a transmission from the guides to clear the place, clear the obstacles, and a meditation to raise your vibration so you are more sensitive to these subtle energies than you might be now. Now, I invite you to share your stories about the subtle feelings you got that changed your life, protected you from harm. One time I was in the airport. I was in France on vacation at that time, and I was with my family, and we had driven across the country and needed to catch a flight. So we were not on time. We were definitely late. The flight was really going to be taken off without us, and we went into the parking garage to return the rental car, and it was packed. There was not a single parking space, and time was of the essence. Finally, we get this parking space, but we're so far away from where we need to be. We get out, we're scrambled, we're frantic, and this little guy whistles. We look up, whistles at us. We look up and he went this way. So we run, don't even question, run after him. He goes through a door. We go into the door. He's down the corridor, points that way. We look up, we're blindly running that way. And the next thing you know, we are in the terminal and actually quite close to where we need to be. He disappeared. That was a manifestation of an earth angel, an angel who manifested physically, saved our butts. And we were the last aboard that flight. Thank God we didn't have to check baggage. We travel light. But we got on. That's not unusual. That is my normal. That can be your normal. Pay attention to your body. Stay out of your head. Don't argue. Feel the energy. Is it pushing you back? Is it pushing you forward? Is it saying, come here? Is it on its way? You will need to give it some attention. So unplug from technology. Be present. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what do I feel? And then answer aloud, out loud. If it's guidance, you will feel peaceful. Your mind goes quiet. And everything in you says, that's right. Do that. You get aligned energetically. This is the way we're meant to live. If you want in-the-moment guidance and a little assist, a little boost, check the notes below. If you are in the habit of getting guidance but arguing, share that with us and where that might have been a mistake. And if you've had experiences where you've gotten bodily sensations, you're speaking spirit. Your guides are talking. Your angels are talking to you in your body. This is how it works. As an intuitive, multidimensional being, it's getting the phone call. And it's saying, okay, memo received. You're not going to get a ticker tape pizza delivered with full-bodied instructions. You're going to get subtle messages that give you complete opportunity to change the flow of things. If you found this valuable, please, please join our community. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like, but more importantly, please subscribe, because I am very consistently offering grounded, practical tips from me, from my higher self, from my guides, who I will be featuring soon, that I channel and have written several books. I will talk about that in my next week. Will help you live in grace, in flow, synchronicity, with guides, not missing the memo, and getting out of frustration and fear, which is exhausting. Life can be so much better. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you again. All my love.